This is Ace. Today, I'm going to tag along with a friend that just picked up a 3,500-pound Weize Tongue Jack for their trailer, and they're going to do the install. So, let's take a look. So when we got here, we noticed this. That's right. That's ankle deep water. Apparently, we didn't know some irrigation was going to happen where my friend stored his trailer. So we're hooking it up, bringing it to higher ground. Hopefully, we'll be able to do this thing. Honestly, this was so much easier than I anticipated it to be. Literally, it was just removing the old one and putting this one on. Now, it did not come with new bolts, so keep that in mind. Do not toss your old bolts, because it did not come with new ones. It came with a manual crank to be able to manually crank it if needed, which is awesome. But looking at it, you know, it was all pretty simple. So these bolts were size 9/16, and my friend Isaac here is going to break them before he uses his drill to pull them out. And again, keep in mind, you got to use your old bolts. Do not throw these puppies away. We did have to end up going to the store for some items that we're going to mention later. So just keep in mind, if you don't want to make a trip to the store in the middle of this, just listen to the things you may need to get this all squared away. So it's really as easy as 3 bolts on this thing. It was very surprising that it was only 3 bolts that hold this on. I went and looked at my new one, and yeah, it's only 3 bolts that hold that on too. So it was really that simple. It's kind of interesting. So, you know, and we didn't sand the surface and repaint like a lot of other people do. We were just, you know, getting it on and seeing how it all connects in, and it's something that my friend's going to do later. He'll end up taking it off and, you know, redoing it, but this is an older trailer, so overall, literally it's a plug and play type deal. You end up plugging the new, or putting the new one in, bolting it down, and then wiring the electricity to the battery. So man, this was, again, super easy compared to how complicated I thought it was going to be. Again, it would probably take me a lot longer than it does my friend, but overall it was a super simple process. So going to the store, realized, yeah, I think we're going to need some lock washers and some weather insulation for the wiring to make sure that, you know, it's covered up and it's not going to hit anything. So once we ended up, you know, just putting this on here is when we actually thought, maybe we should go to the store, and we did. So we ended up taking it off and putting the bolts back on with the proper washers. And next, you'll see that we look at wiring the battery. So I failed to mention earlier too is that with this came bare wires. So we did need some electrical connectors to be able to connect it to the battery. So we went ahead and pulled off the propane tank cover and wanted to make sure that we had enough room to be able to get to the battery itself, and make sure that we looked and see how everything was wired before we did that. We were also seeing which avenue we were going to run the wire, which would best be covered, and it's really, you got to run it underneath the tongue area to be able to appropriately get it to where it needs to go, and it provides a nice area to be able to zip tie it to the frame, which is awesome. So a precautionary tale, don't play around with that part. Luckily, I really like how that one had a strap that keeps it, you know, from going anywhere. I was playing around with mine like an idiot and pushed down on it like it was a button, and actually went into the housing. I had to retrieve it back by opening up the housing of the jack. Don't do that. It's not a button. Don't touch it. Don't be like me. So this is just a reminder, hit subscribe so you can see our other videos that come up, and let's take a look at how we're going to be wiring this thing. So the most interesting part about this whole process is that I actually did not hit record while he was putting all the weather covering and weather stripping on the wire itself, and didn't even catch the first time that he actually wired it to the battery. So, with that said, we didn't miss much. We actually, a word of caution, we actually wired the thing backwards. So when we actually tried, down went up and up went down. So, easy to test that. Swap them out.
Everyone, I'm Dapper of Dapper Inspirations. Go check out my channel. Link will be in the description below. And yeah, thank you to Ace Will Travel for plugging my channel. And yeah, go check me out on YouTube at Dapper Inspirations.
So realistically, this couldn't have been easier. This was super simple. Again, 3 bolts. And if you know basic electrical wiring, you can connect the connectors to the cables, connect it to the battery, you're good to go. So out of I'd say nearly all the projects we've done on trailers, this was by far one of the easiest, and even as a novice I think I'd be successful doing it. So thanks for watching this video. Subscribe again if you want to see more, and as always, keep traveling.